We are late. We're on time now. We're not on time. It is almost 5:30. We are 1 hour late. But as they say, better late than never. Welcome everybody to Brad Show Live. My name is Brad Bernstein. And for the next hour or so, we're going to be chatting and schmoozing and answering your immigration questions and talking about whatever anybody wants to talk about in the comment section. Right now, if you do have your immigration questions, kindly leave them. I have not been on the air for about 5 days, so we want to try to get as many questions answered. And of course, it's Hump Day. Happy Hump Day to everybody. Hump Day's not, it's still always a special day, Hump Day, but not as special as it was when it was a real Wednesday and we were like right in the middle of the week and we were ready, right at that hump to get to the other side of the week so we could get to that weekend. But now with coronavirus, I don't know. Maybe every day is a hump day. I have no idea anymore. Let me say hello to the squad I have not seen since when were we last on the air? Let's see. Today is Wednesday. We were not on the air Friday, Monday, Tuesday. We missed 3 straight days. So let me say hello to the squad. Make sure we got everybody here. Ali Manu, how are you? Shrewd, saying squad up. Katie and Plunkett, how are you? Latoya, his forever Peterson. Despite quarantine, she is still with him. Because it's forever. Kay Ann Forrester, how are you? Chetty Man Bordy, how are you? Juliet Hilaire, Isila Enot saying squad up. Lovey Lima Tango, squad up. You and you and you and you and you, she's saying. Javel Finnegan, watching from wherever he may be at this moment. Christy Consali saying hello to everybody. And who else we got here? Mama Ifua Baidu saying squad up. Karen Saunders all the way down south. How are you? Nicola Wright, squad up. Carol Anderson, the Tiger. How are you? No, how are you? She always asks Brad, how are you? I never ask Carol. How are you, Carol? Let me know. Beverly Robinson saying, hello, Brad. Happy Teacher's Day and happy Hump Day. It's Teacher's Day today. I did not know that. It's also Nurses Day. We will get to that in a little bit, but it's also Teacher's Day. So congratulations to all the teachers out there who had a very, very rough time this year. I mean, everybody's had a rough time, but, teachers had to learn a whole new way to teach. They had to learn online teaching. It's a whole new system, and they had to do it like that. So, hats off to all our teachers. And we Mahat saying squad up. How are you? I said Deion Watson, Tracy Brooke, and Cher, blessed and highly favored parent saying squad up. And we can't forget our squad on YouTube. What's going on, YouTube? 29 Super C, how are you? Squad up. Angela Rawlings, squad up. Max Taylor, Errol Townsend, Faye Tan Janice Williams saying squad up. Who is this? Beloji Muhammad, squad up. Donald Horton and Max Taylor. Marita Crawford, Daniel K. I think I said Angela Rawlings, but Ebsy Epps with a hola. So hola to you as well. We got to get into our show. I got to remind everybody before we get into our show to please subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. SUBSCRIBE. Why do you want to subscribe? Because like today, we're 1 hour late. People text me all the time. People DM me all the time. Brad, when are you going to be on? Well, the best way to figure it out is subscribe. You're going to get a little ding every time we go on. Also, if you like our show and you like watching our show, there's no better way to get better information on immigration and what you need to live your life, not only here in the United States, but around the world as it pertains to immigration, minority rights, social justice, and a whole lot more than watching Brad Show Live every day for 1 hour. It is very educational. It is fun. And I have to say, you also get to meet a lot of great people, not just me, but all of the entire squad. This entire show doesn't work without the squad. So my hat's off to the squad. We should have, it's Teachers Day and Nurse Day. We need Brad Squad Day. And I think I'm going to talk to Jilly Bean and Pizza about making a promotion for Brad Squad Day. We need a day to thank the Brad Squad. So we're going to do that as well one day. Julie's probably sitting in her apartment going, what? We're doing Brad Squad Day? Thank you very much. Well, that's how we work here. We do all of our best ideas live on our air. But please subscribe. And also, if you subscribe, you will, as I said, not only will you know, but a lot of people don't want to subscribe on YouTube because and I say this all the time, and I get it still every day, they're scared that they don't want their friend or family to know that they have an immigration problem. Let me tell you something. Just because you subscribe to Bradshaw Live does not mean you have an immigration problem. It doesn't even mean you're an immigrant. There are lots of people who are born in the United States who subscribe to Bradshaw Live. So there is no stigma. There is no stereotype of any member of the Brad Squad. It could be somebody who is in another country. It could be somebody who is here. It could be somebody with white skin, brown skin, yellow skin. I have even seen a couple of green-skinned people from outer space. No, I'm only kidding. There's no green-skinned people, but it's for everybody, no matter what race, nationality, religion, whether you were born in America, born outside of America, whether you have an immigration problem or not. There is no stigma to being a member of the Brad Squad. And you start by subscribing on YouTube. And of course, you also start by liking and following us on Facebook. Don't think I forgot you, Facebook. And then after you like and follow us on Facebook, if you want to meet like the coolest group in town, then you become a member of the Brad Squad on Facebook. Coolest group in town, and everybody supports each other, and we love each other. Even people we've never met. Most of us have never met each other, yet we still have a really nice bond between everybody. And I think it's a really beautiful thing, Brad Squad. So not only on Facebook do you want to follow and like us, but you also want to apply. And there's an application process. You don't have to write an essay why you belong in Brad Squad. The application process is you click on the Brad Squad membership. It's on our Facebook page on Bradshaw Live, and the membership committee, which consists of everybody on the Bradshaw Live crew, will look at your name and say, I remember seeing them watch. I remember seeing them make a comment. They're part of the Brad Squad. They're in. So that's how you become part of the Brad Squad. You just have to be memorable to somebody on our crew, and most people are. Back it up, Ricky, I see, joining us as well. God bless, Donald Horton. So again, subscribe on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube, and of course, like and follow us on Facebook. And now let's get into something we like to call schmoozing with Brad. All right, so as I said, today is not only National Nurses Day, but I just found out it's also National Teachers Day as well. Well, today is National Nurses Day. It's always observed on May 6th. It's funny that nurses and teachers are observed on the same day. So on this day, we're raising awareness for all nurse contributions and commitments and acknowledge their vital role that they're playing in society. And today is also the first day of National Nurses Week, also sometimes known as National RN Recognition. And let me tell you something. If ever there was a year to be recognizing nurses, doctors, people in the medical field, it is this year. Not only are they putting in exhausting hours, not only are they working in most or many hospitals, I don't want to say most, but certainly in many, many hospitals in many places, not only in New York or in the United States, but around the world, working in conditions that are less than ideal, in overcrowded emergency rooms and ICU rooms. And they're working with materials they got to make for themselves to protect themselves, or sometimes with no protective gear whatsoever. I mean, we saw in the beginning of this crisis, nurses walking around with paper bags around their bodies because there just wasn't enough protective gear. And they're putting in exhausting shifts, and they're risking their life. They're risking their life so they can save another life. And what better person is there in the world that somebody who will risk their own life to save another life? I mean, that's literally what they're doing. I don't know that a nurse went to, I don't know if a nurse went to nursing school to say, you know what, I'm going to risk my life to save another life. I don't know that was the thinking. They said, okay, yes, I'll save some lives. But I don't think they thought that they would be risking their life, and they are, and they're showing up to work every day, and we have to thank them. And we have to recognize nurses everywhere. We have to celebrate their dedication and commitment to their patients and their profession, and tell them, if you know a nurse, tell them. And I'm telling all the nurses right now on the Brad Squad about all the excellent work you are doing. And if you have been cared for by a nurse, you tell them this week, you did a great job. As a matter of fact, not only many places around the world, including New York City, at every night at 7:00, people are cheering, honking, making noise for the medical workers on the front lines, including our nurses fighting the coronavirus. The cheers are happening all over the country and the globe in recognition of their service. I was walking down the street on Sunday. Even on Sunday, we don't take a day off. We do not take a day off in celebrating and thanking and recognizing our medical professionals and our nurses. And I just actually took a video because it was 7:00 at night, and I was walking down Madison Avenue. There I am in my mask. Nobody can call me a mask hole. I wear my mask everywhere I go. And I was walking down the street, and there I took that picture around 7:00, and then I took this video. Let's watch. So meanwhile, according to statistics from the Johns Hopkins, and by the way, again, one last congratulations to all our nurses and medical professionals. And yes, Carol, that was me in the mask. It's very hard to breathe in the mask, by the way. You got to I'm sure everybody it's not comfortable. It's just not comfortable to breathe in the mask, but you got to do it. You got to do it. You have no choice. And I am showing you my picture of me walking around in the mask because our leaders are not walking around in masks. They should be. They're not. Somebody has to, and it's not going to be, I don't have a big enough platform, but I think people with big platforms have to come out and show themselves wearing masks. Because if our president and vice president's not going to wear a mask, why should I wear a mask? And we have to have our celebrities and our politicians and our leaders all wearing masks. Our leaders have to lead the way. So I'm not a leader. I have a small little platform. I wear my mask every day. Why do I wear my mask every day? It is to protect you and you and you and you and everybody I come in contact with, because, I feel okay. I look okay. Other than I put on a few pounds in quarantine. Other than that, I look okay. Well, I don't know if I look okay. I need a haircut, but assuming I get a haircut and lose a couple pounds, I look okay. I feel fine, but maybe I'm sick. Maybe I have coronavirus. I'm walking around. Nobody knows. I could have got it yesterday, and God forbid, 13 days would go by before I even know I'm sick. So I'm wearing a mask to protect you as much as to also not get sick myself. The mask is more to protect you, and our leaders have to do it, and they're not. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But meanwhile, according to statistics from the Johns Hopkins University, authorities in 213 countries and territories have reported more than 3,000. I wish it was only 3,000. Boy, I can't read anymore. Let me fix my eyes here. 3,721,700 novel coronavirus cases worldwide since China reported its first case. That's 3 million people who literally got tested. 3,721,000 people who literally got tested. That number, according to most professionals, probably 10 to 20 times more. So probably there's somewhere between 30 million to 60 million people, if you believe the professionals, their opinion, that number is 10 to 20% less. And that is a conservative number of people who actually have had coronavirus. Now, Donald Trump fired this scientist by the name of Dr. Rick Bright. He was the federal scientist who was removed from his post. He was fired by Donald Trump after disputing the efficacy of an unproven malaria drug. Now, Dr. Bright, who led the office, he was the head guy who was developing for the U.S. government. He was overseeing the development of vaccines by the United States government. Okay, the head guy who was overseeing everything, he was fired in the middle of our coronavirus epidemic. And he said because officials had launched a baseless smear campaign against him and leveled demonstrably false allegations about his performance in an attempt to justify what was clearly a retaliatory demotion, because he spoke up and he said chloroquine and hydrochloroquine don't work. Yet Donald Trump was yelling, what is it? It can't hurt you. Go take it if you're sick. And remember, everybody was rushing around. How do I get this hydrochloroquine? I need the hydrochloroquine. And people were calling me up. They're like, I know somebody who has the hydrochloroquine. I go, how do you get this? And people were going crazy getting it. And then there was a big market for it. And then people who really needed it, people who suffer from lupus, that's what it treats, were not getting it because people were hoarding this drug. Now, why did Donald Trump, why does he wanted everybody to take an unproven drug that lacked any scientific merit? It lacked any scientific merit other than an anecdotal report by a French doctor who said he gave the hydrochloroquine to 20 patients and a lot of them got better. But nobody knows if they would have got better without the hydrochloroquine. And these drugs all came and they're imported from Pakistan and India. I'm not sure why to this day, other than maybe Donald Trump wanted to, try to solve the problem in a day and say, oh, it's all gone. Woohoo! Magic, all gone. Which is what he said. He said, one day it's all going to go away by magic. That's what he said once. I don't know why he did it. And then when Dr. Bright, who was leading our vaccine, the government oversight of all of the private companies, because it's private companies that are developing the vaccine. It's not the U.S. government, but it's the U.S. government that oversees the development of these vaccines by private companies to make sure they're following rules and protocols and we're getting safe and secure vaccines. And he's saying this hydrochloroquine doesn't work. And Donald Trump's coming up every day saying, take hydrochloroquine, you got nothing to lose. And this guy gets fired. So he has now filed a whistleblower complaint against Donald Trump. Meanwhile, the New York Times reported yesterday that in New York City, the daily onslaught of death from the coronavirus has dropped to half of what it was. That's really good news for Brad Bernstein and the entire Brad Show crew and the entire crew at the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, because, death is going down in New York. That's where we are. And in Chicago, a makeshift hospital on the Lakefront Convention Center is closing. And in New Orleans, new cases have dropped to just a couple dozen every day. So great news for New York, great news for Chicago, great news for New Orleans. But the rest of America, I don't know. The Times reports that the rest of America is still in the firm grip of a pandemic. Now, for every indication of improvement in New York City, Chicago, and New Orleans, there are new outbreaks that are emerging everywhere else in the United States. As other parts of the United States continue to lift restrictions meant to stop the virus, regular new flare-ups and super spreader events are expected to be very, very close behind. Now, what's a super spreader event? Any event where you get a lot of people together in a close confinement, and you got one sick dude or one sick lady, and that super spreader gets the entire group sick. And then that entire group then goes and disperses, and they go home, and they go walk down the street, or they go to their church on Sunday, or they go to their barbershop. And then each of those individual people contaminate that whole area. And that's how this whole thing starts. So the paper reports that any notion, this is the New York Times, that any notion that the coronavirus threat is fading away is wishful thinking, unfortunately. In America, more than a month has passed since there was a day with fewer than 1,000 deaths from the virus. Almost every day, at least 25,000 new coronavirus cases are identified. And rural towns are now hotspots of the virus. People who live in small towns think they're inoculated from this. They're not. It's spreading through nursing homes, meatpacking plants, unfortunately, prisons, and new outbreaks keep emerging in grocery stores, Walmarts, and factories. Andrew Neumer, who is an associate professor of public health at the University of California, Irvine, said, if you include New York, it looks like a plateau. But if you take New York out, it's a plateau that is moving up of more and more and more coronavirus infections. And that is sad. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is recognizing this. He has said that the coronavirus death toll, which he originally said would be around 60,000 because we assumed that America would be closed for another couple of weeks, that Americans and people who are in America would be social distancing. Well, that number is going to reach above 100,000 deaths. Why? Because we're opening up America too early. Now, you can argue, well, you know, we're killing ourselves by staying home, and that is a valid argument. There is no right answer here. There is no right answer because eventually we got to open up America. We got to be able to work. We got to be able to make a living. We all can't sit on our couch forever. So there has to be some sort of balancing act between protecting the most fragile of Americans, which are your elderly, as far as coronavirus is concerned, your elderly, people who have diabetes, people who have hypertension, underlying heart or cancer disease. Those people, those diabetics, hypertension, elderly people, people who are sick, people who are fat, those people need special attention. They need special protection. There has to be some sort of middle ground somewhere. I'm not sure that we've reached that middle ground. We've gone from one extreme where we all stay home and do nothing to another extreme where go out, let's go get a tattoo, let's go to the barber shop. And there has to be some middle ground. I don't know where that middle ground is, but I think we're going too far to the other side right now. It's my opinion. And where we said there would be 65,000 deaths, Trump says 100. Well, the New York Times is saying 135,000 by the end of the summer. That means doubling the amount of deaths. And there's a trade-off. Are you willing to accept more death so we can go back to work? Are you willing to accept more death so we don't spiral into a depression? We're in a recession right now. We're in a very deep recession. Are we willing to accept more death so we can go and live our day? It's a very, 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 very tough balancing act. I'm not sure that at least in the United States we've been able to balance the need to lower death and at the same time be able to open up society to those who are more likely able to fight off an infection from coronavirus. Hopefully we'll get there. Hopefully we will get there. Now, Trump said that he's closing the coronavirus task force. Why? Because he's decided he's opening up America. He's allowing governors to open up their states. And he doesn't need Dr. Fauci. He doesn't need Dr. Fauci running around telling everybody social distance, social distance, social distance. Because social distance is the only thing that we have. It's the only tool. There's no pills. There's no vaccine. There's no shots you can take. There's no drink you can take. There's no vitamins you can take to fight this off. So the only thing you can do is avoid other people. And he doesn't want Dr. Fauci saying social distance anymore because he wants people to go back to work. He wants factories to start. He wants businesses to start. And you want to know why, most importantly, he wants that? Because he needs to get reelected again. And there is not a person in the world that's going to elect this guy if we're in a depression. Okay? Nobody's voting for Donald Trump when they're out of work and can't feed their family. So he said, you know what? We're going back to work, folks. And we're going to get this economy going again. I need to be reelected again. And if people die, so be it. And they're closing down this coronavirus task force because he doesn't need Dr. Fauci standing over his shoulder every day at a press conference contradicting what Donald Trump says, which is basically what's happened. So sad day for America because we don't have the leadership who's able to balance the needs and the health of Americans and those who are in America and the more unfortunate people, the people who are heavy, fat, diabetic, old, with the needs to also have factories going and businesses going. Meanwhile, as I said at the top of the, and today, by the way, he reversed. He is actually keeping the coronavirus. He is actually keeping the coronavirus task force together, but it's not going to be a task force. He backtracked, but it's not going to be a task force that is going to be coming out every day and telling people to social distance. It's going to be a task force that will be focused on getting vaccines to people and getting treatments to people and reopening America. Well, guess what? There's going to be no vaccine this year, okay? I'll bet my last dollar that in the year 2020, there will be no vaccine. I doubt that there will be a vaccine in 2021. What ultimately will happen is hopefully that there will be some medical treatments that at some point will be refined to such a level that if you do get coronavirus, it'll be like when you have a infection and need an antibiotic. Hopefully there will be a treatment for it, and that treatment will come a lot faster than vaccines. Meanwhile, as I said at the top of the show, you saw me wearing my face mask. Well, you remember Pence, there I am. Remember Pence went to the Mayo Clinic. He did not wear his face mask. Well, in Arizona, Trump also declined to wear a face mask. He said, you know what? If I'm sick, I'm going to infect everybody. But he certainly wore his eye goggles as he toured the Honeywell plant that made respirator masks. And why did he wear goggles? Well, he doesn't want to hurt his eyes. Doesn't want anything going in his eyes that will blind him. So yeah, protect Donald Trump. But God forbid this selfish man would wear a mask for 5 minutes simply as a leader to say, you know something? Everybody should be wearing a mask because if everybody wears a mask, we'll prevent transmissions from one person to the other. Now, at least one sign posted in the facility read as Donald Trump walked by in his goggles without a mask, face mask required in this area, but apparently he didn't read it. Now, what was actually quite funny, if anybody knows Guns N' Roses, when he was touring the assembly line in Arizona, they were playing Guns N' Roses over the loudspeaker, a song "Live and Let Die," which was kind of ironic that Donald Trump is touring the assembly line in Arizona. If anybody doesn't know how Guns N' Roses goes, "Live and Let Die," I can't sing. That's about as much as I'm going to sing. But if anybody knows the song, it just keeps going, "Live and Let Die," and it's going over and over. And I don't know if this was done on purpose or not, but certainly quite ironic. Meanwhile, as Donald Trump is opening up America, he's also ordering 100,000 new body bags. The 100,000 new body bags was actually purchased 2 days before he came, was purchased 2 days before he even came out with a new figure on the number of deaths. So why is he purchasing over 100,000 new body bags if we've already had 60,000 or 30 or 40,000 people die? Because he thinks there's going to be at least another 100,000 deaths. So not 100,000 deaths in total, 100,000 deaths beyond what we have already. Why would you need those body bags? I don't know if anybody saw those armed demonstrators storm the Michigan State House for the stay-at-home order. Donald Trump, the Republican Party, my opinion, is encouraging this. They have certain protesters that they get out when they need to get their point made, and hundreds of them angry, some of them armed with rifles. I don't know how the laws are in Michigan, how you're allowed to walk in with a semi-automatic rifle into the Capitol building, but apparently you are. They went into the Michigan State House because nobody got arrested. Now, it was terrifying lawmakers. The lawmakers were wearing bulletproof vests. And I had a friend say something to me, which I didn't think of at the moment. He's, friend. He's African-American, a black-skinned friend. I have friends all over. And he said something to me that really, really resonated with me. He says, can you imagine if it wasn't, 20 hillbillies with rifles coming into the Michigan State House shooting, and it was 20 black guys with semi-automatics? Every last one of them would have been arrested, and they all would have went to jail forever, and there would have been an uproar on Fox News. So, as First Lady Leah said, white privilege. I don't know. I mean, I do know. I hate to say it, but yeah, that's what it looks like to me as well. And it's funny because it's not the first thing that I thought of, maybe because I'm white-skinned, but it was pointed out to me by my friend who's black. And I said, without a second thought, you're right. You are absolutely right. It was absolutely white privilege, because 20 black guys walking in there with sawed-off shotguns shooting up the place, forget it. You know what would happen. Meanwhile, what else is happening? If coronavirus is not enough, we're having now Asian murder hornets coming into the United States. Just as New York is getting rid of coronavirus, we have hornets now we got to worry about killing us. These deadly hornets, this is real. They are from Asia. They measure up to 2 inches long, and they've been found in the United States for the first time. These aggressive insects, nicknamed the murder hornet, they can wipe out a bee colony. If they sting you in groups and bunches, they can kill a human being. Japan attributes more than 50 human deaths a year to these killer hornets. Now, according to the New York Times, they were never in the United States before, but now they are. So we have to watch out for coronavirus, and we now have to watch out for killer hornets. I saw a funny meme. I don't know if we have it or not, but the funny meme was Dr. Evil from not Wayne's World, from when he's the Dr. Evil from when he's the there he is, Dr. Evil. This made me laugh. Fear of corona is on the decline. Release the murder hornets. From Mike Myers, not Wayne's World. Oh, I'm going crazy now. What's the name of this stupid movie? Everybody knows the movie I'm talking about. You'll tell me in the comment section. Meanwhile, Washington State entomologist Chris Looney told the New York Times, this is our window to keep it from establishing. If we can't do it in the next couple of years, we are going to be with murder hornets forever. My guess is with Donald Trump, he's going to do nothing to stop murder hornets. We now have to be on the lookout for coronavirus and murder hornets together. And by the way, folks, I know we have a long schmooze today, and I'm going to get to everybody's. Austin Powers. Oh my God. One of those brain freezes I got. Yes, but Austin Powers. Thank you very much, Julie Bean. But it is hump day. We're doing a long schmooze today, and we'll get to everybody's immigration questions. But I can't end the schmooze. I can't end the schmooze without a little hump day. And there's our camels. We have our camels. I see the camels. That's right. So we said that on May 6th today was Happy Nurses Day, but for the entire month, apparently the entire month of May is officially the Masturbation Month. M is for May and Masturbation Month. That's what, according to the Huffington Post. Now, who decides these things that May is Masturbation Month? It turns out, according to the Huffington Post, that anyone can declare anything a day, a month, or even a year to a particular cause. So that's why I said we're going to have a Brad Squad Day, which is the day of Brad Squad. But somebody has declared May to be Masturbation Month. Now, the UN endorses some of these, but International Masturbation Month has not yet been recognized by the United Nations. Masturbation Month is American. It's formerly known as National Masturbation Month. It was declared by Good Vibrations Sex Shop in the 1990s in response to the firing of the U.S. Surgeon General Jocelyn Elders. Now, some of you may remember that Elders was fired following comments at UN World AIDS Day in 1994 when she was asked whether promoting masturbation might discourage school-age children from riskier sexual activity. Elders agreed, noting that children should be taught that masturbation is a natural part of human sexuality. And quite frankly, as we're all quarantined here in the month of May, certainly here in New York, I think that May, certainly for 2020, certainly will be National Masturbation Month. Meanwhile, organizers of Portland's Naked Bike Ride have encouraged participants to carry on by themselves. Every year, last year we even talked about the Naked Bike Ride, the World Naked Bike Ride. It usually sees thousands of nude cyclists bearing it all as they ride through cities around the world. But with the coronavirus pandemic, this year's event is going to be a little bit different. While canceled in other cities, including St. Louis, London, and San Francisco, the Portland, Oregon chapter has instead announced that the show must go on, but with a little more social distancing between each nude bicyclist. Did I say that right? Between each nude bicyclist. Instead of gathering at a set location and time, anyone who wishes to participate will simply just encourage to take your clothes off, hop on a bike, and start riding wherever the hell you are. And then, of course, put your selfie, cover up a little bit, but put your selfie on Instagram or on Facebook or whatever social media you use. World National Bike Ride is now celebrated on June 27th. So save the date. If you ever wanted to say, you know what, I wanted to ride my bicycle naked and not have people say I'm crazy, well, June 27th is the day to do it because it is National Bike Ride Day. And I saw this was quite funny. A medical worker de-stressed. I mean, it's very, very, very stressful. Very, very stressful in New York. Well, she was a medical worker. She de-stressed and disrobed in a piece of street performance art in Times Square on Monday morning. She went topless. By the way, it is legal to be topless outside of New York. You just can't take your underwear off. But it is legal to be topless on the streets of New York. She wore an oversized reflective feline mask and held a kitchen knife. And she told the New York Post, I've been working for 6 weeks straight and I've seen a lot of death. So I needed to mix some art and costumes to relieve my tension. And I did it to relieve some stress. So there you have it. Some people just need to get naked to relieve some stress. Now, healthcare workers in Germany and France are bearing it all to raise awareness about shortages of personal protective equipment as they battle the coronavirus. A German website called Blank Bedenken. It sounds dirty. I don't know what it means, but Blanke Bedenken shows medics posing in the buff using medical equipment, including stethoscopes and anatomical skeletons as props to partially obscure themselves. According to this website, it says, we are your doctors. To be able to treat you safely, we need protective gear. And when we run out of the little we have, we look like this. We are vulnerable. Medical practices need more support from politics. And we did have a picture of that, but I don't know what happened to it. And finally, during an interview Thursday with 1010 Wins, I don't know how many people are into Governor Cuomo, these Cuomo sexuals, the people who are just love this guy, but love him because they want to make love to him, not they love his politics. They just thinks he's a sexy politician and want to make love to him. Well, during an interview, or date him or whatever. Well, during an interview on Thursday with 1010 Wins, Susan Richard, about cleaning up New York City subway system, New York Governor Cuomo was asked what he thought about the results of a survey by matchmaker Maureen Nelson, published by the Daily News. The survey found that women want a man either like the governor or CNN anchor brother Chris Cuomo. And the governor responded, well, Susan, I did not see that, but now that you raised that most wanted eligibility, my brother is married. I'm not married, so I don't think he would qualify as eligible. However, I am eligible. Not missing a beat. Richard said, well, I just want to say we're both singles, Sagittarians from Queens. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. So she was trying to get a date with him, and he laughed. But apparently he's single and ready to mingle. I think we're going to have to save the rest for next week. We have so much hump day and so much news, but we got to get to our immigration questions. So now is the time, folks, that you have to leave your immigration questions in our comments section, whether it's on Instagram. I forgot that. Leave your questions. But before we get to your questions, I have in my hand on Instagram, I got to remind everybody, I was jumping ahead, but we're going to get to your social media questions in about a minute. But it is hump day. And on hump day, only on hump day, do I have my scratchy old hat out. And people may say, well, I haven't watched Brad Show Live in a while. Why on hump day does Brad have his scratchy old hat out? No, I'm not going to wear it on my head, because inside of this hat is the names of every person who followed us on at Brad Show Live on Instagram. And then they liked our post that said, win a free consultation with me. And all they had to do was tag 5 of their friends. That was the post that they had to tag 5 of their friends and like at Brad Show Live. And I said, if you do that, very simple thing, I may pull your name out of my scratchy hat every Wednesday and give you a free consultation worth $200. So let's do that right now. I have the names in here. I personally put all the names in here because I'm in quarantine. I do all the work here. So I have my scissors. I did it before the show started. So here's my scissors. I cut all the names up. I'm going to shake my hat one last time. And I'm going to pull out of my hat the name of the winner of the free consultation. And the winner is Dejabiri. Dejabiri. If your name on Instagram is Dejabiri, congratulations. You just won a free consultation with me. All you got to do is send us a DM and have a little chat with Pizza, and she will get it all set up. And I will give you a call sometime this week for your free one-on-one private consultation. Congratulations to Dejabiri. Now, also, if you do not get your immigration question answered here live on at Brad Show Live, you can also follow me at Real Brad Bernstein on Instagram. It's usually where you can find me. I'm usually on Instagram more than any other social media, although I don't sit there and live on social media. But if I were, it would generally be on Instagram. So you can follow me at Real Brad Bernstein on Instagram and drop me a DM. I'll try to help you to the best that I can. Of course, you can also follow at besides following at Real Brad Bernstein, follow at Brad Show Live to enter into our new contest for the free consultation. And do we have that post, Lee? Where is the post for the new consultation? Do we have that? Nope, that's the old one. Well, trust me, there's a new one there somewhere. I promise you. There's a new post somewhere for the new consultation giveaway. All you got to do is find that post. And if you find that post and you tag 5 friends, you like that post, and you follow us at Brad Show Live, you too may have your name written down on a piece of paper, have me cut the name into a little ball, throw it into this scratchy hat, and pick your name out like I did for Dejabiri, who won this week. Also, now is the time to start your watch parties on parties. Wow, I sound like I'm from Boston. Start your watch parties. No, start your watch parties on Facebook. And if you start your watch parties on Facebook right now, you can tell everybody Brad will be answering your immigration questions. Although I will tell you the news, and I do like to kid around. I don't kid around about immigration. I'm going to tell you exactly where it is. Unless your question is absolutely so ridiculous, I will have to take out the magic 8-ball, and then we'll have a few jokes with the magic 8-ball. But for the most part, I will be very, very serious and answer all of your immigration questions to the best of my ability on YouTube. On YouTube, by the way, we have a total of 39 thumbs up. There's always one person who always gives me a thumb down. We have 163 people watching right now. So if you are watching on YouTube, now is the time to give me a thumb up. Show the world that you like this show. 167 people watching, only 42 people like this. Come on, give me a break. Take your thumb and put it on that little blue thumb, put it on that gray thumb and turn it into blue. And on Facebook, you guys are not off the hook, Facebook people. You are not off the hook. You got to start your watch parties right now. As Lisa Bling Rose says, Uncle Brad has a clean face and amazing, and he's ready to mingle. So tell all your friends, I'm ready to mingle. Show them. Start a watch party. Come on. Lisa says I'm ready to mingle. How can I mingle without anybody knowing this show exists? All right, so start your watch parties, and please share this with everybody. I am going to start with Facebook. Start my immigration questions on Facebook. Let's see what the questions are for the today. But excuse me 1 second. I'm taking away Lee's job. I forgot something. If you need to reach me, I have so many announcements to make, and we're 48 minutes into the show already. If you need to reach me and you want to have a consultation with me, the best way to have a consultation with me, call our telephone number. It's 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-LAWLINK, 1-800-529-5465. Or outside of the United States, it's +1 212-227-8933. If you dial that number, you'll speak to Fiona and her staff, and they will put you on Uncle Brad's list. You get on my list, I will call you tomorrow or the next day, whatever day you want to be on my list. And I will have my consultation with you, or if you're a current client, or speak to you, or whatever you need. So for a consultation, you have to call 1-800-529-5465 or 212-227-8933. I hope Lee has his finger on the button, because now's the time we got to check. Social Media Check-In, Pandemic Edition. All right, so our first question comes from Nelson David. It's a bit sad. Brad, my mother is infected by the coronavirus. Is there any way I can go see her? I got deported in 2007 and have been here ever since. They're not going to allow you to come back to see your mother for the coronavirus. One, she's infectious, so they won't let you see her. And two, that is not going to be a reason to come back to the United States so you can go visit mom who has coronavirus. So unfortunately, that's not going to be a thing that's going to get you back into America. What you may want to do, Nelson, is if you are wherever here is, what you may want to do is call our international number. It's +1 212-227-8933. If you call that number, I'm happy to pull your records from immigration, and we'll see after I review your records what we can do to help you. Javel Finnegan, who is one of our top sharers. So thank you very much, Javel. With the most obvious comment of the day, you are late, Uncle Brad. Yes, I was. Javel Finnegan with a question. Uncle Brad, visiting visa came to the U.S. now. Is your border open for international visitors? From most countries, no. From most countries, no. However, there are countries that are not banned. So if you come from a country that is not banned and you have a visitor's visa, it's possible you can come to the United States. Let's see what else. If there's a plane flying, Lee Rogie has a question. Good evening. I'm a Liberian, and my girlfriend is qualified for the recent bill passed to grant Liberian national green card. If we get married now, can she still file for me to qualify? No, you had to be married before. You had to be married before the law passed. Share blessed high favorite parent. Hey, Uncle Brad, is Essential Plan 1 Health a public charge? I'm not sure what Essential Plan 1 Health is. So so you would I would need to see what that is. If it's something from Obama, no. But if it's based on, some sort of government assistance into the plan because you're below the poverty level, then maybe. My guess is no, but I would have to double check it. And by the way, Lee Roger, I think you would need a consultation if you're concerned about getting a green card. Mana Leon Jackson just wants to thank me for doing the good job and bless you. Thank you very much. Rosario Neves. Hi, Uncle Brad. How are you? I have a question. What is immigration form G639? Those were the former biographic data forms. You don't need them anymore. So don't worry about them. You're now doing on a marriage case an I-130 and an I-130A. Manika Senuvuega. The just status of married son while in the United States, does it have a negative impact on petition? What's your recommendation? Adjustment of status of a married son while he's in the United States. It doesn't have a negative impact. If he's in the United States, absolutely do the adjustment. My question to you, Milka Senevuega, is your son eligible to adjust his status? He's over 21, so he'd either have to be in legal status or 245I. But if he's out of status, then no. If he comes to the United States on a visitor's visa and then you file the adjustment within 90 days, then you're going to be denied for misrepresentation. So I have a lot of questions for you about adjustment of status for your married son. But assuming the priority dates are current and assuming that he's legal to adjust his status and it's done properly, then by all means, go do it. Nicola Wright, how long does it take to get a J1 waiver approved? You're thinking about I assume you're talking about a no objection letter. It's over a year. Hernandez Sammy has a question. Hey, Brad, what does it mean when you receive an update that says, we received your correspondence for Form I-360. We are reviewing your correspondence and we'll send you a notice if we need something from you, when I did not send any documents to VAWA? You didn't send any documents to VAWA, but you got a letter saying that they received your VAWA application. It means that immigration screwed up somehow. If you have a current VAWA case and you never sent a letter to them, I would suggest that you contact us anyway, because that sounds very odd, what's going on there. Make sure that everything's going right. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Alibu Beecher. Brad, my green card is finally approved 6 months after my interview. Thanks for your guidance through the process. Congratulations, Alibu. I'm glad it all worked out for you. Prince Olanawaju Joseph Adaranitu. Can I get a date for an interview during the 60-day immigration ban? An interview for your immigrant visa? No, you won't. For a non-immigrant visa, the answer is yes. Damian Farkerson. Does USCIS question irreconcilable divorce even though both parties signed the judgment? It depends what most divorces now based on irreconcilable differences. So of course they would recognize it. You don't need to prove grounds for divorce. So the answer is yes. Anita Nelson with a question. Hi, Uncle Brad. Please, after marriage-based green card Stokes interview, the officer said he believed me and he liked me as well. But he cannot make a decision now. It's up to his supervisor to investigate if there's a need. And the officer said to us that we will hear from him within a month because we don't like holding files on. Now we did not hear from him for 4 months. Uncle Brad, what did the officer mean by he cannot take the decision up to a supervisor to investigate if there's a need? What it means is he was lying to you. Maybe he liked you, but he believed that there was enough discrepancies on your Stokes interview that you should be investigated, and probably there's an investigation going on right now to the validity of your marriage. If you passed your Stokes interview with flying colors, they would just grant you the green card. Monica Stone wanted to wear a mask a long time ago, since 2018. I don't blame you. Now, in retrospect, it was probably a smart thing to do. Linda Shaw, Uncle Brad, my daughter has been listening to you right now at COVID City. Give her a shout out to all of the frontline workers. Her name is Nurse DaCosta. Nurse DaCosta, shout out to Nurse DaCosta and everybody in COVID City working not only in Nurse DaCosta's hospital, but in everybody's hospital. Thank you for your wonderful, amazing, great service. And thank you for taking care of our sick. And of course, please take care of yourself. And please don't get sick yourself, but every last person working in a hospital is putting their life on the line to help somebody else. I can't say enough about them. So Nurse DaCosta, my scratchy hat off to you and your entire team. Samora Patterson, Squad Up Rad, is pandemic EBT considered a public charge? I have not heard any mention of this. Pandemic, nothing that comes from the employment is EBT, the employment benefits, I guess. Employment benefits are not public charge. Let's see what else we got here. Janelle Hamilton. Hey Brad, keep on being awesome. Thank you. I pray you and your family are in good health. We are. Thank you. I'm asking on behalf of my sister if she doesn't have all or most of the things requested on the I-944, that will be an issue when filing her adjustment of status. I honestly don't understand why this form is necessary. Why isn't the affidavit of support enough? Because Donald Trump wants to make your life miserable. That's why. Submit all that you have for the I-944. You can always bring more evidence in to your interview. For example, if she doesn't have health insurance at the moment, but she can get health insurance after she gets a work permit and social security number, then you can bring that information to the interview. Naked Wire, hi Brad, do you have any idea if there will be any more stimulus checks because the unemployment payments are not forthcoming? I don't know what's going on with stimulus checks, although they said that there would be several more coming, so let's hopefully that's the case. Linda Shaw with a pre-comment of the day. Uncle Brad's show is so educational and very motivated, informative. You name it, it's right here. The best immigration. Come on, guys, turn up your dial. Let everyone listen to our genius Uncle Brad. Pre-comment of the day. Let's see if we have more immigration questions. Let's see. Maybe I'm missing all the immigration questions today. Let's see. Damian Farquharson with a question. Does USCIS question, I answered that one about the irreconcilable differences. Lee Roger, how long does it take for a marriage interview when your spouse files for you? And an asylum seeker been on for 1,600 days, no interview, when the process starts for old cases? All right, so for marriage interviews, it depends state by state, but you figure it's at least about 12 months from start to finish right now. As far as asylum, 1,600 days, that's about 5 years. They're going first in, last out. You may be waiting another year or two on that asylum case, most likely. If your asylum case is pending that long and you have a really good asylum case, you may want to think about filing a mandamus. A mandamus is to force the government to do their job, which is adjudicate your case in a timely manner. If your asylum case is iffy, be happy they haven't called you yet and you keep renewing your work permit. Sanchia Victorious Gale. My daughter had surgery, was in the hospital for months. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you think a letter from the surgeon can help my VAWA case? The letter from the surgeon's not going to help your VAWA case unless the surgery had something to do with violence against you or your daughter. But just for sympathetic reasons, no. If it's for a waiver, then yes, but not for a VAWA case. Kelvin Tran. I'm going to ask my question to you if I can answer it. I got my employment authorization card 2 weeks ago, but I didn't receive my replacement Social Security card yet. Do you think there's a delay to the process due to coronavirus? Yes, that is absolutely why. Sonia Sharp, can you work with your work permit? Absolutely, you can work with your work permit. That's why they call it a work permit. Uncle Brad, is the immigration office open now? I sent my citizenship 3 weeks ago. It absolutely is open and they are processing cases. Natalie Latouche, hi, I got my green card in 2019. There was an error on it and I sent it back and still have not heard anything back. Should I try to file for the 10-year or wait? You got your green card in 2019. If you're at the 90-day period before the 2-year expiration, you have to file for your 10-year green card on the I-751. Don't wait for them to send back the conditional green card. So if you're at that 90-day mark, yes, file the I-751. Rachel, oh my gosh, Rachel, you're gonna give me agita with your name. I'm gonna try my best. Rachel Uwela Osem Wedgie Easy Okachukwu. I think I got that close. Hi, Uncle Brad. Would you advise someone with an approved asylum case in November 2019 to file for a green card now, considering the backlog due to the COVID delay that may come up with the USCIS? How about wait till September? Well, given the fact that they're on first come, first serve for adjustment of status, and you got your green card in 2019, you got approved for asylum in 2019, you can't file for your adjustment of status until 1 year after the approval of your asylum. So if you got approved in November 2019, you got to wait until November 2020 to file for your adjustment of status. But at that point in November 2020, when you file, don't wait past that. You're at that 1 year, just file it. Has nothing to do with COVID. They're going to be on a first come, first serve basis, but you can't file right now because you got to wait that 1 year. Let's see what else we got here. Ragdan with a question. Hi, Mr. Brad. Can you get a green card in a year time with a VAWA case as you have a good case? Probably not. Probably not. Samora Patterson, squad up, Brad. I have not heard any mention of the children and spouses of U.S. citizens. How does the executive order affect IR2 or CR2 category? Could you please say what's up? Children under 21 of U.S. citizens or stepchildren of U.S. citizens are getting their green cards. It's only children over 21. So the IR and CR cases will be processed. Beatrice Hansen, will I be able to travel to see my husband while he's filing for me? Right now, the answer is no. If your husband's a citizen, you could always file a K3 and come up on a K3, but you shouldn't really be coming on a tourist visa. Lovey Lima Tango, I went to look for a visitor's visa around 10 years ago. I like how they say I went to look for one. Yeah, I was looking in the garden for one too. We went to the embassy to get a visitor's visa around 10 years ago, but there was an allegation against my name. What do you think I should do when there's a waiver from Jamaica? What is the allegation against your name, Lovey? That's what we really need to know because, what do they think your problem? I need to know what they believe about you before we know whether you need a waiver or not. And then we need to know what they believe about you, whether that's true or not. So I think you would need to have a consultation before you just start saying, file a waiver, file a waiver. Sanchia Victorious Gale, since it can't help the VAWA case, is there another option where USCIS can help because the surgery is what helped my status to be up? She wasn't released on time and I couldn't leave her in the hospital. I don't know enough about your case, Sanchia, so you would need to speak to me and have a consultation. So I'm not sure what you're trying to do. You're trying to stay in America with a VAWA application filed, or you want to file a VAWA application, or you're not in America now. I'm not sure where you are. I would need to know a lot more. Probably the best thing to do is call me, 1-800-529-3776. 5465 or internationally +1 212 227 8933. Dion Morris Ford with a question. How much to make of your tax to affidavit someone? How much you to make on your tax? You want to provide an affidavit of support for somebody, and you want to know what you need to earn. It depends on how many people in their household and how many people in your household. Lovey, if there's a drug smuggling allegation against you, that is very tough to overcome, but we still need to know what the facts are. And because what the law says, if you are a suspected drug dealer, present, future, or in the past, maybe something happened 30 years ago, you have a problem. If you're saying to me, you are squeaky clean, they got the wrong Lovey Lima Tango, I never did anything wrong, I was never in the wrong place at the wrong time, I'm as squeaky clean as squeaky clean can be, they just got the wrong person, then yes, call me and we'll prove they got the wrong person. But if you were kind of mixed up in something, even if you don't have a criminal conviction, that could be a problem for you. Tanisha Dockery Thomas. My son is in Jamaica and he received his immigrant visa, which will expire July 28th. Can this visa be extended due to the fact there's no flight out of Jamaica now? It cannot be extended, unfortunately. So let's hope there's a flight or a boat or something that can get him out by July 28th. All right, let's go to YouTube and see what's going on YouTube. Let's see. Layla Smith on YouTube. I'm an LPR. I applied for my child's case at the National Visa Center. My husband was qualified for emergency. The hospital asked both of us for my green card and social security number and my paycheck. Is that what caused public charge for me or my child? No, if the emergency was for your child, it will be emergency Medicaid. It will not cause a public charge for you. Reniqua Walker. Hey, Brad, my I-130 was approved a month ago. Congratulations. Now the status changed to correspondence received and is being received by USCIS, and I didn't send anything. What does that mean? Whoa, let's go back again. Hey, Brad, my I-130 was approved a month ago. Now the status changed. I guess adjustment of status is received and is reviewed by USCIS. Did you file an adjustment application at some point in time? Is that what you're asking? I'm not sure what your question is, but I think that's what you're asking. So I would need to know a little bit more. Let's see what else we have. Grace Ann Mailer. Good day, Brad. I'm over 21. I filed for my U.S. citizen parent. My priority date is December 2015. Can you tell me which year they are processing now and when will I get an approval notice? You're over 21 and you were filed for by your U.S. citizen parent. You should get an approval notice shortly. They're up to 2014. So as long as you get an approval notice in the next year, you should be here in another year or two. So I think so far, okay. Don't worry until the priority dates pass you and you still haven't gotten approved yet. Layla Smith, I'm an LPR sponsoring my child's case at the National Visa Center. My husband was I answered that question already. Beta Life Records, squat up, Brad. Is pandemic EBT considered? I think is that you're talking about the extra money you're getting in unemployment benefits? Then no, it is not considered public charge provisions. Rupan Thakador. Hi, can you let us know, please, any latest update against Trump new immigration 60-day suspension order? There is no new update. It is what it was before. We're about 1 or 2 weeks into it. There's a lawsuit against it. We're waiting on a judge's decision. Nothing new has happened since then. Kay Wake. Evening, Uncle Brad. You're awesome. Thank you for all the free advice you're giving out on a weekly basis worth millions of dollars. It is. It really is. I wish I had the millions of dollars for all the free advice I'm giving out, but I appreciate it nevertheless, and thank you for recognizing that. Beta Life Records, squat up, Brad, is, I answered that question. Berno Saintville, how are you, Uncle? If your green card in August 1st, 2015, you sent your application for citizenship on May 1st, 2020, The USCIS says you are not qualified yet. Can you please help me to understand why? Yes, because you have to file for your citizenship 90 days before the 3-year anniversary. Everybody says 3 months before, but sometimes there's 31 days in a month. So, for example, there's 31 days in May. There's 30 days in June, and there's 31 days in July. So if you filed on May 1st and your green card is August 1st, then you filed 92 days before the 5-year mark on your green card, and you have to file 90 days. It's not 3 months, it's 90 days. That's why. So refile again. Dwayne Gordon, hi, Brad. I have a friend in Jamaica who had some allegations of visa fraud with the United States Embassy, but she went through the courts and she was found innocent. She then applied and was told no waiver. I would need to know a lot more with courts and innocence and no waiver. I would need to know a heck of a lot more. She should have a consultation with me. Jack K. Harris. Also, if my TPS EAD expires before a decision is reached, does that mean I can't work and will not have wedding pictures affect my case? You don't have to have wedding pictures, but you do have to live with the man and have a financial relationship with him. If your TPS expires, you will not have proof that you're legal to work. If you're married to a U.S. citizen and your employer doesn't ask you for proof of legality to work and keeps hiring you and you keep working, use your social security number, that's not going to be a reason to deny your green card. So I always tell my clients the burden's on the employer to ask you for proof that you are legal to work. The burden's not on you. So if your employer doesn't say anything, then keep working, especially if you're married to a U.S. citizen, because you're not by the way, not especially because you are married to a U.S. citizen, working out of status or working without legal status or working without a work permit is not a reason to deny your green card. Beverly Robinson. Brad, my work permit expires in August 2020, and my VAWA was approved November 2019. Should I apply for an extension now? Yes, you should. You should also be filing for an adjustment. I hope you did that. Guillermo Harrison. How long does USCIS to send your interview after you send the I-864 form? A long time, because the I-864 should have been sent with the original adjustment application, so you didn't do everything right. So it's as if when they received the I-864, it's as if they just received your application. So you're at least 12 months away from the time they receive your I-864. One way the best, hey, Uncle Brad, is changing my address going to make my case take longer? If you're moving out of the jurisdiction of your local immigration office, it will. Max Taylor, hi, Uncle Brad. How far are they now in VAWA cases? They're 2 years behind. Reniqua Walker, hey, Uncle Brad, my I-130 was approved a month ago, and my status just changed to course. Okay, I answered that question. I didn't know enough about it, so you need to ask. You need to know more. I don't know what you mean by you didn't send documents and you got something about adjustment change. Max Taylor, hey, Uncle Brad, are they sending out green cards or are they closed? No, they're sending out green cards. All right, so we're about an hour and 15 minutes into what's supposed to be a 1-hour pandemic pop-up. Last question, Rupan Thakador. If any USA granted asylum green card holder uses his own national country passport for travel purposes, is it going to affect when they become a USA citizen? No, it'll only affect if you become a USA citizen. If you go back to the country that you claimed that you were scared to go back to, and then all of a sudden you got your green card and now you're going back to go visit, well, then how scared were you to go back in the first place? Saeed Fustak, I'm going to answer your question because you claim I passed by it. I'm a U.S. citizen with an approved I-130 from USCIS from January, but nothing from National Visa Center. My wife is in Jamaica. Definitely follow up with the National Visa Center. I don't know why you didn't receive anything yet. You should have by now. Iniola Oyabade. I'm a VAWA applicant since, or Saeed, call me. I don't know why you didn't receive anything, but it's 5-6 months. You should have received something by now. Iniola Oyabade. I'm a VAWA applicant since 2018. I filed all the applications concurrently. I had a C31 category. Can I write USCIS to change it to C9 so I can get my EAD? No, you have to file an adjustment and an I-765 and request EAD based on C9. And finally, this is the last question. Dianaba Dial. Hi, Brad. Which tax transcripts I need to send to the National Visa Center for the last 3 years? All right. With that, we're going to come to an end. We're about an hour and 17 minutes into our show now of what is only supposed to be a 1-hour pandemic pop-up. I do have to remind everybody to please subscribe on Facebook. Please subscribe on YouTube if you like the show. Please subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow. I don't know, sometime between 4 and 5 o'clock, maybe a little bit after. When you subscribe to the show, it does not pigeonhole you to make people believe that you have an immigration problem. There are lots of Americans who watch the show with no immigration problems. There are lots of people with all different skin colors who have no immigration problems. Watch this. There are people who live in the United States. There are people who live outside the United States. Do not feel because you subscribe, all of a sudden you're saying to the world, I have an immigration problem. You don't. There's plenty of people in the Brad Squad who don't. And the same goes for Facebook. Like and follow this page. You will get notified every time we come on live. It does not mean that because you like and follow this page that you have an immigration problem. You shouldn't be ashamed to follow. You should be proud to follow. You should also be proud to be part of the Brad Squad. And if you do like and follow us on Facebook or you do subscribe on YouTube, go over to our Brad Squad membership page on Facebook. Apply to become a member. You're going to meet the greatest group of people to ever walk on the face of this earth. I'm telling you this. Brad Squad, there's nobody who beats Brad Squad. And of course, if you need to reach me for any reason and want to have a consultation with me, you can call me at 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. Internationally, the number is 212-227-8933. If I did not get your questions answered, you can always follow me on @RealBradBernstein. Drop me a DM. I'll try to answer it. You could also follow us on Instagram @BradShowLive for the best of Brad Show Live, as well as to try to enter into the free immigration consultation contest. And with that being said, Jilly Beat and Lee, do we have any comments of the day? Wamohat, I am always here and I don't even need immigration help. Exactly. Wamohat, exactly. And Fox Racing says that Brad Show Live and the people behind the Bradford Show are the coolest in the USA. We are. That he knows. And BB Squad up, Brad, you are the best. I'm watching with my whole family. Exactly. It's exactly what I'm saying. Just because you subscribe doesn't mean you have an immigration problem. You shouldn't be ashamed. You should be proud to be part of the Brad Squad. You should be proud to be subscribing to this show. You should be proud to following and liking us. And you should be really happy that I'm going to be back tomorrow sometime between 4 and 5 o'clock. And with that, I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching.